Alabama's HBCU, Tuskegee University.
Tuskegee.
I said it wrong again?
You said it right the first time.
Okay, hold on. HBCU.
Tuskegee.
Tuskegee.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just going to call it the college, okay? Because we... the university's president, Dr. Mark A. Brown, announced a strict professional dress code for the academic school year coming up. He's banning all casual items like bonnets, durags, mandates business attire for formal events, and empowers faculty to enforce the rules. So no bonnets, no durags, no bedroom slippers and house shoes. This is verbatim. No revealing outfits. Locations are in classrooms, dining halls, and official university spaces. Everyone's pissed. My question is, I feel like there might be a bigger issue than just the new mandate, because what were people coming to school dressed in that you felt you had to enforce this new policy? Was everyone just rolling out of bed in their bonnet and their slippers and their pajamas?
Yeah, I think it's really about the bonnet than anything else, because their former policy also listed durags, and it wasn't that much different than their new policy, but they did specifically outline bonnets. And so I think this is more about Bonnetgate than anything else. But this has been a recurring conversation. Like one of those buffoons that President Dumpy Butt appointed, like put out a statement. I forget who it was, but basically saying like, stop wearing pajamas to the airport, like or suck my dick. Okay, I'll wear whatever the fuck I want to the airport. I'm paying thousands of dollars for this flight. If I want to show up in a fucking banana suit, that's what I'm gonna do.
I do like a good airport fit, though.
I am gonna be comfortable on an airplane. Like I'm not gonna look crazy, because you never know who you'll meet in an airport. But
right,
I am certainly not wearing anything uncomfortable, like at all. I'll change when I get there, but I'm not sitting on a plane uncomfortable. Also, you have no idea how long you're gonna be on these planes. Anyway, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about bonnets. I think the bonnet conversation is much deeper than just saying you need to be presentable when you leave the house. There is this underlying constant conversation about Black women's hair and this respectability politics, showing up the right way, looking professional, and I push back on it because, particularly for college students, when we're talking about adults and what you look like in certain places, like, I really don't care. If your whole vagina isn't out, if I'm not seeing your reproductive parts, I really do not care. I'm busy. And it is what it is. Like, people are just out here trying to survive. But when it comes to particularly college students, which is the basis of this conversation, because it's at Tuskegee. When I was in college, and Haley, I don't know what you did in college, but when I was in college, I was a fucking hot mess. I was hungover. I was tired as fuck. I was chugging Red Bulls. I was working 4 jobs, doing an internship in the morning, going to classes, driving all around the city. Like, I don't remember ever getting ready for class. Maybe I did. I have no memory of it. I know I wasn't looking put together in class unless I happened to be coming from something where I was already put together. Getting to class and doing the work was the only priority that I had.
Yeah.
Now, did I ever wear a bonnet to class? No. But does that mean my hair was done? No. Who gives a fuck? I was there to get an education.
Yeah.
And I went to a private university. And before I was at that private Catholic university, I was an athlete. So I was definitely in sweats and slides every day. Sweatpants, slides. In high school, I wanted to sleep so much, I would sleep in my sweatpants that I was wearing to school. Because I was going to practice after that. Like, I did not get ready for school in high school. Like, maybe once a month, I would be like, I'm going to look cute today.
Oh, I was infamous for some hoop shorts, some high socks, some slides. I mean, played a bunch of sports, but still, I was so tomboy. I'm
telling you, like, we were in durags, bonnets, bandana. Well, we didn't really wear bonnets, bandanas, head wraps, like, what? This whole obsession with presenting yourself a certain way when you're in public, guys, like they're students. They're just trying to get an education. They're partying. They're learning how to be adults. We don't need to hold them to this insane standard. We have no idea what their financial background is, talking about you need to wear professional business. Are you handing out professional business attire to these students?
Right. Because that costs. I mean, I get it if there's like, it's presentation day in a course or you're going to an internship, but like,
sure,
when we're learning something and we're studying, like just make sure they're there.
Let's make sure they're there. And it's like, there are bigger fish to fry. If we, and I got into this conversation on Threads, and I was and some educators were weighing in about it. And I was like, yeah, like we get into these very passionate conversations about bonnets, but we don't have the passion. Like while we're spending time and energy on that, it's not one or the other. But I would just rather spend that time and energy focusing on the institutional problems that we have. Haley, you and I have talked about how people can't fucking read. And that's what some of the teachers were saying. They're like, they show up looking crazy. They can't read. They can't write. Who cares? If you are a genius, you can show up in sweatpants. Okay. I promise you, these white boys in these, I don't even want to say boardrooms, in their houses on Zoom are in sweatpants.
Absolutely.
Now they're white boys, so they can get away with that. I understand that more than most. Okay. But give me a break. Explain to students that when you go out into the workforce, you're not gonna be able to dress like this. If they can't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. Like that's common sense. But when you're talking about a classroom, like just give me a break. I find this to be a real waste of energy. I find it to mostly be an attack on Black women and Black women's hair, which is the deeper part of the conversation. It's about like being presentable in white spaces, and I just like I really don't like it. Like there's so many different angles to this. And I do get that you are raising young people to be, to go out into the workforce, but like just make it to class. I liked this guy's Dr. BF Palmer on Threads. I screenshot it because I wanted to read it. College students are adults. College are communities of adult scholars paying for access to professional scholars. College administrators are organizational leaders, but generally too disconnected to be community leaders. College students should feel comfortable and safe within their community. The goal of a good college is intellectual growth and freedom, not social control. Durags and bonnets do not impede learning. Respectability equals professionalism equals white supremacy. I think he said it absolutely perfectly. That is the condensed version of how I feel about all of this. And keep in mind, I am on the board of trustees of a private university that is majority minority students and a majority women students. So I don't care if you are a student and you show up in a bonnet to class. Get to class. Get to class. And when you graduate, you're not going to be able to wear your bonnet in your workplace. The end. Like the end. That's common sense. There should be no confusion about that. And my priority is doing the hard part, which is getting people to get an education. Because in a time like this, where people don't read, where people think that education is a waste of time and money, when people celebrate stupidity and ignorance rather than intellectualism and learning, the bonnet is not my concern. And I speak from a place of someone who looked like shit in class, went to class, graduated with honors, has poured into academia, both physically, personally, emotionally, and with my time and energy. This is just not a conversation that I think is helpful. And again, I think it's mostly a directed attack on Black women's hair.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you wear to class?
Probably some sweatpants, leggings, hoop shorts. My hair was infamous bun on the top of my head, always. My edges were not laid, like little frizzy edges. Just
no makeup.
No makeup.
Probably no moisturizer because we didn't believe in that back then.
Nope. I mean, I didn't stink.
Yeah, washed.
I was
clean, showered. But yeah, I mean, let's just get to class. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think it is a helpful, progressive conversation, and people spend a lot of time and energy going back and forth on this. and not about the root of the problems that are really affecting young people
Too much noise.
in this country. It's too much noise.